It's one of Jefferies' top picks in software for next year. And that name is, Sarah?
Snowflake.
Snowflake.
Which I did not guess.
No, you guessed
I was
Google.
guessing Alphabet, maybe, but...
There we go, Alphabet. I still call it Google because I'm old. I say the Atari and the Amiga and the Commodore computer. Let's bring in Brent Thill. He is the analyst at Jefferies, for which this is one of his top picks. All right, so Brent, number one, why do you like Snowflake so much heading into next year? Number two, it's had a bad year, but a great quarter. What's changed around Snowflake in like the last 2.5 months?
Yeah, good morning. There was a reset this year, brand new management team, new strategy. Effectively, this was a huge year of investment. So margins are going higher. This is the highest operating margin upside of any large cap name across software. And this was really just a pit stop year. They needed new tires, a windshield wiper, and a new Blaupunkt stereo put in the car to amp things up. And we think that this new strategy, the new CEO's initiatives will start to take hold in 2025. So 24, the front half was really a pit stop year. I think what you're starting to see is the back half of the year pay off in terms of seeing some re-engagement back with their customers. And we think ultimately there was a definitely storm cloud over software's head in the front half of the year. Everything was focused on AI infrastructure, NVIDIA, hardware, energy. And we think that starts to shift to software as we go into 25. So we think this leaves Snowflake in a better position at this point, and we think a lot of these new initiatives will start to pay off as we go into next year.
So just to be clear, is it an AI story now, the software story? Is that what's happened, for instance, with the Salesforce as well?
It's not a full AI story. And just to be very clear, no one in software has a full AI story. Less than the majority of the software industry today, including Microsoft, single-digit % of total revenue will be from AI. So it will emerge into a bigger AI story for the industry across 2025-26. But this is going to happen slowly because companies aren't letting AI run around in the wild. Most of this is in projects or small deployments. It will become a larger AI story as we head through this period. But I want to be very clear, like it's not a light switch. You don't turn on AI on across software. It's going to be a very slow, steady buildup over the next 2 to 3 years. But we think that'll be a better tailwind for our industry. Our industry underperformed semis, internet, hardware, everything this year. And that's because you had to put that foundation in before software's like artwork. You have to effectively put the foundation in before you can hang it. So that foundation's in, and now it will help the rest of the industry as we go through the next couple of years.
Brent, I know you and your team operate on months, quarters, years as a timeline, so I don't want to just focus on today, but that's kind of what we do. Also, we are seeing the NASDAQ down 423 points right now. It's just over 2% for the NASDAQ 100. A lot of the quote-unquote, I know they've had a good month. A lot of the Mag 7 are all down fairly large right now. Do you have any short-term reason why we're seeing this level of weakness heading in, to the new year? I know it's a very short-term question, but I've got to ask it because these are relatively large moves.
Yeah, I think what's happening is we've said the Mag 7 to the Mag 70. We're seeing a broadening from just that small set of companies into a broader group of companies. Part of that's being driven by the Trump movement as we go more business friendly. We're seeing more small businesses seeing better momentum. We've seen boards and CEO confidence levels rise. So effectively, we think that this is a broadening trade to the rest of tech. It's broadening out to small and mid cap as well. And we think ultimately that was the place to be. We still think it's the place to be in many of these AI stories for Amazon and Microsoft for enterprise AI, Meta, Google for consumer AI. But this is a broadening trade. And today, I think, again, you've had a pretty good outperformance for many of these names through the year. Part of this may just be cleaning up the year for some investors and setting up for next year's book. But I don't think that there's anything that's suddenly changed across tech. I do think there's a broadening trend. I do think that we're going to see other names that have a better benefit because the backdrop of demand is getting better. We have effectively a more business-friendly leadership. We think there's going to be more M&A. So that would basically suggest that there's going to be a broader rally across many other names than just the Mag 7.